Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. Likes, comments, and subscriptions still holds true. Helps out the channel immensely. Welcome back to another News I Missed, where I talk about all the stuff in the cryptocurrency space that I just happened to miss. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Leading fintech firm Ripple is set to bring real estate transactions to the native network of the XRP token, the XRP Ledger, through a new partnership with blockchain-powered real estate marketplace Proper Home. That's proper without the E, right? According to various reports, the partnership will see the real estate marketplace leverage the XRP Ledger to distribute utility NFTs that represent asset ownership. Okay. The use of NFTs will provide faster, more reliable, and more energy-efficient transactions to market participants. In a new interview, John McCoy, CEO of Proper Home, okay, now the E is there, okay, said that Portugal, there are 580 real estate agents per 100,000. That's a lot, per 100,000 residents, while the European average is 136 real estate agents per 100,000 residents. The company plans to boost the confidence and credibility of those professionals through the use of its own Proper token. The E's gone again. Proper token, which is set to be used to measure users' reputations. Like, okay. McCoy explained that when realtors publish new listings with proper pictures, fair prices, and detailed analysis, and if they answer clients on time and produce content that demonstrates growth in the market, they will... I get it now. I thought the Proper token was for the real estate buyers. I was like, their reputation? Like, what do you need for me to be able to buy a home there? It's for the actual estate agent. I get it now. They will receive tokens that can be used to advertise on the platform. Alternatively, they can pay directly for these advertisements. Cool. The platform will issue blockchain-based digital property certificates, which allow users to bypass the time-consuming process. Do you remember in 2017, one of the really big news stories was fractionalized real estate? Do you remember that? That was such a gigantic thing in the cryptocurrency space. The idea was, in the future, everything's too expensive. You can't own it, so you got to fractionalize own it with about 25 other people. This was also around the time when we were told by certain individuals on the planet that by the year 2020, we'd also have completely self-driving cars, but that also didn't take place. One of the major ideas from that entire thing was the idea that you'd be able to, let's say you and 4 friends are trying to buy a property, or you want to buy a property, but it costs too much. So you kind of go 1/5 for each of you. And this transaction would take place on the blockchain. So you would know mathematically, like none of you can be like, well, I was there on Thursday and you can't lie and say that you are owning more than the other people. But if you rented out that property, let's say you rented it out for $3,000 per month, random number, I don't care. And then you all received an equal amount of that rent as well per month. I forgot all about that. That was such a big thing. I don't know if it was just the year 2020, but so many people came up with these predictions of how big crypto would be and how crypto would be used and like other things that would be taking place with it. Because even the idea of like, rambling on here, the idea of like purchasing property, if you've ever purchased property, it takes a long time. It shouldn't take that long. Like there are certain countries, like if you buy property in France, it takes like 3 months. Like you have to take this amount of time. I think it's meant to give the seller time to think it over and also give the buyer time to be like, do I really want to buy this? 3 months is an egregiously long amount of time. Like, I know that especially in the US, you can you can do like a 7-day closing. Like, I saw it on a Monday, next Monday, it's mine kind of thing. But even the idea of like you just being able to go there yourself, say, hey, I want it, and digitally like sign paperwork or even like pay that same exact day and that afternoon that it's yours. It's kind of weird that we don't have all that stuff. Anyway, reeling it back in, it still has to do with real estate. Sure. Why not? Cool. This is yet another, I told you it keeps happening all the time. This is yet another Ripple has partnered with X company to use the XRP ledger in some sort of way. It's wonderful. I hope they continue with all these new partnerships and stuff like that. I noticed they said Portugal. And Portugal is currently going through a bit of a stint, not a word. Is it? A stunt? A stunt within itself, where they announced that they're going to start charging people taxes for their cryptocurrencies. And that's a big no-no because they had 0% taxes before. So, yeah, I knew a lot of people who were thinking about moving to Portugal. And now that's kind of been like, pushed to the side because nobody really wants to pay crypto taxes. But cool. Wonderful, Ripple. Continue with all your partnerships. I just, I'm always on that boat where I feel like people would also be more inclined to buy a property if XRP was like $6 or like $12 as opposed to like 50 cents. So thank you for laying the groundwork or the framework, but I think we still have a pretty long ways to go before people are using in mass cryptocurrencies every single day as their actual form of payment. Yeah, that's the Ripple has partnered with Proper Home. Once again, the E is missing. To like PROPR, not... Anyway, I'll shut up. Okay, let's move on. Also in the news, I don't know, is he okay? American venture capitalist and billionaire, wow, I admire him so much more now, Tim Draper is sticking to his earlier prediction for Bitcoin. Although he now believes the price will take just 6 months more to actually get there. Speaking at the Web Summit 2022 event in Lisbon, Portugal last week, here we go. Draper said he believes Bitcoin will go to, here we go, $250,000 by summer of next year. You heard that correctly. That's why I made the joke. Is he doing okay? He said by mid-2023, I'm expecting to see Bitcoin hit 250,000 US dollars. The new time horizon for the well-known venture investor came after his first prediction in 2018 that Bitcoin would hit the mark in 2022. But also, to be completely fair, in 2018, he didn't see the Roro. He also didn't see Russia, and he also didn't see the debacle that the world currently is. So, fair enough. This had come after Draper correctly predicted that Bitcoin would surpass $10,000 by 2017 back in 2014. Ooh, fancy. In May this year, Draper again reiterated his bullish stance on Bitcoin in a podcast interview with Scott Melker, saying he believes the coin will reach, can you imagine? Bitcoin has been tussled. I think tussled is a very nice word over the last 8 days. I mean, like thrown around the room. Like it's looking for its hair. Like it is going through some stuff. I believe, if we didn't publicly or collectively as a community did not all have to go through the FTX mud, especially after stocks rose on the news that inflation had fallen to 7.7%, we'd probably be around a $24,000 to $26,000 Bitcoin. I don't know if I can logically see any scenario where we would logically pass by a $100,000 Bitcoin by February. And I'm saying February because that leaves us March, April, May, June, other finger, July. That is 4.5 to 5 months to go from the February 100,000 to $250,000 per Bitcoin. I, probably more than anyone, would love if that happened, because all the other coins would skyrocket. You wanted that 15,000 Ether, you're going to get it. You wanted that $10 XRP? If we get a $250,000 Bitcoin, $10 XRP is going to be sitting right in your lap. You wanted a $10 Cardano? You wanted a $1,000 Binance coin? That's how you get it. But I feel like we should have hit that number last year. But there's so many people in the space who cause panic and disarray, and even more so people who don't want us to succeed, who have found ways to short the market or manipulate the market in some sort of way. I'll leave you with this. All the news, for those of you who've been here every day, I sincerely do appreciate you. The point is, if you've been here every day, I give you, the last 5 weeks. The vast majority of the news that we get is never negative. The whole Sam Bankman-Fried FTX thing, that was kind of a really weird crypto black swan event. We have crashes and collapses and scams all the time, but nothing like, these dramatic price drops that we've seen. If logic actually existed in this market, you know how much, remember earlier, can someone give me this number? Because if you can, this will make a lot more sense to you. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago, we had news as to how much money had passed through Bitcoin this year alone? So in 2022, the year's not over, how much money had moved through Bitcoin's blockchain? The answer, for those of you who missed it, I think was between 12 and 14 trillion dollars. That's not a fake number. We had news in 2019 that we had just crossed by $1 trillion worth of US dollar value had moved through the chain. That's not on crypto exchanges. That's not people trading. The trading on crypto exchanges happens all internally. Like things that happen on Binance's computers don't happen on the Bitcoin blockchain until you have withdrawn your money, and then it begins flowing back and forth. $12 trillion. Banks, usually like the largest banks, over the course of a year, they may transact around $750 billion. Think of that. Not even $1 trillion, not even $2 trillion. To even talk about that BlackRock is the largest asset manager holding $9 trillion worth of value. Bitcoin is 3 trillion further than that, just on money being moved around on its actual blockchain. Bitcoin's price, based off of that, should not be below $100,000. People are using it. People are accumulating it all the time. But alas, here we are. You want to talk about Ethereum's issuance rate? Don't worry, I'm going to move on. I know someone's very impatient. We would have nearly 700 or 800,000 Ether being created if we still had proof of work. You have to understand these numbers. 800,000 has morphed into 6,000 that we have. Its issuance rate has fallen by more than 90%. Ethereum should not be less than $4,400. Why $4,400? Because that's the previous all-time high when we still had proof of work. The numbers don't really make a lot of sense. I would love if this space made sense. I can't find another word bigger than love. Adore? Swoon? I would love if we had proper prices, but I think it's going to take a while. A lot of people believe that we need the next halving to be near, which is in 2024, for things to really get going. But yeah, so anything's possible. But I don't think so. If it does, listen, we're all going to party. I mean, like realistically, like we're all going to have actual like week-long parties. It's going to get kind of dramatic. Very weird videos and photos on Instagram and stuff. Anyway, that's the Tim Draper believes. What's that? In 8 months, that Bitcoin is going to $250,000. News. Yeah. Let's move on. Also, when like a lot of people cared about this and I didn't really get it. American multinational investment bank and finance giant Goldman Sachs, not their real name, said it will be soon launching a crypto classification system called Datonomy, like data and then anatomy, but okay. The big bank said Datonomy is a tool that classifies coins and tokens based on how the respective cryptocurrencies operate. The system would help analyze the crypto ecosystem and raise transparency into market movements, it said. Datonomy could be used, Datonomy could be used for various use cases, including the review and assessment of portfolio performance and reporting, it added. So, very simply, this is being made because a lot of people getting into crypto don't know how to value crypto. And this goes to companies and institutions and banks, what have you. One of the really big annoyances in the 2016-2017 cryptocurrency market was, how do we value Bitcoin? How do we put value on Ethereum? I can't tell you if this coin has value. You tell me. This is why the idea of the metric that there's trillions of dollars flowing through Bitcoin, a system that may be slow, but has had zero downtime and is still working nonstop over the last 14 years. That's how you value something. How do you value Ethereum? Well, it has 9,000 coins on top of it. It has this many transactions per second. It does this. It has this amount of value locked inside of it and this amount of value flowing all through it. This is how big companies essentially value these projects. But this is kind of something different. This is more of like this coin is used for this. This coin is a utility coin. This coin is a security in that it digitizes securities on their blockchain and other stuff like that. But people found this news incredibly fascinating. There were tons of articles about this. I think it's interesting, but it also further pushes us away from any idea of decentralization. The idea of companies reaching so far into the space and basically we're mimicking and recreating things for the traditional system, but in a crypto DeFi Web3 kind of way. It's really sad what has happened to crypto in that we are no more than what do you call it? Just another stock market kind of thing. Like the idea of crypto is financial freedom for everyone around the world, not just for the richest people, but all these rich people own all the crypto. There was a guy who wrote on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, even days ago. It was something along the lines of, there's probably less than 5 million Bitcoin actually left up for grabs. And there's 8 billion people on the planet. So a lot of people aren't going to be actually ever going to have more than 1 million Satoshis. I've told a couple of friends this is not financial advice, but it is for my friends. I told them, I was like, buy at least 1 million Satoshis. I think it's like, what, $100 something or something or other? There's not going to be a lot left. Anyway, getting back on track. Yeah, Goldman Sachs is releasing a framework for being able to understand and like classify cryptocurrencies. Sure, why not? This was popular news. I think it's because people hear these big names and assume that there will be a Reaganomics trickle down effect, that these people get into the system or into crypto because they are going to make everyone else rich. That's not how it works. They're working on making themselves richer. And a lot of people seem to not really understand that. So that's the Goldman Sachs is going to be launching a crypto classification system called Datonomy or Data Anonymous. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in what? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I'm so surprised at this news being released. The Terra Luna ecosystem has introduced a new feature geared towards NFT minting on their blockchain. I can't believe it. That's crazy. According to a detailed step-by-step YouTube tutorial, digital art enthusiasts, good job, can now mint NFTs on the Terra Luna network and technical knowledge. Following the Luna UST crash earlier this year, the Terra ecosystem is working hard to regain its lost glory. That's a very intense sentence. Moreover, the Terra network had grown, to the top 10 coins by market cap, over $40 billion before the crash. So, is anyone surprised? No. I'm shocked that it took them this long, because every other platform has their own NFT, minting, blockchain, cryptocurrency, Web3, decentralized, DeFi, you name it, they all have the exact same things. Maybe they're simply making a brand new one to remarket all of these things that are going. Oh my gosh. This is the first. Wait, is it? Wait. Nope, that's a lie. Never mind. I was going to say something, but it's a lie. And I'll tell you exactly why it was a lie later. The point is, cool. So Terra Luna, I assume this is the original Terra Luna or the new one. That's not the old one. You get me. Is making NFTs on their blockchain. Cool. Now next you got to do smart contracts and DeFi and have your own decentralized exchange. You have to have multiple, and they all have to have really weird names like toenail clip or like eyelash pancake and stuff like that, because that's the stuff that people really like. People love these weird names. Wasn't there one called like pickle juice or something? I just don't. I'm not getting the reason for the actual naming, but here we are. So cool. Good job, Terra Luna, for rising like a phoenix or like half a phoenix. Something, I don't know. Something's going on with these projects. Cool. Wonderful. Unsurprising, but probably going to be relatively successful in some sort of way. Let's move on. Also in the news, Ripple apparently now has less than 50% of all XRP in the circulating supply for the first time in the company's history. Ripple has faced criticism, mainly by Bitcoin maximalists who were really annoyed that XRP could have become the #1 coin in 2017, by some that have raised questions over the firm's significantly large ownership of XRP. This is also around the same exact time. History is wonderful. This is around the same exact time where a number of people realized that I think it was 65% of Bitcoin's mining power was just coming from China. And then if something about the nodes of Ethereum, I don't remember what it was, but we figured out a huge amount of centralization in these projects. And that's when Bitcoin maximalists were like, the company Ripple holds a huge amount of XRP. And they were like, yeah, that's not news. We told everyone that before. And then someone said the C word. They were like, centralization. And everyone was like, no, I can't believe it. And then a bunch of Bitcoin maximalists were like, even better than that is the S word. You're a security. And they were like, no, wait, what's a security? And they were like, it's something bad. It's something terrible. And this is where that was basically, you know, the whole history in a nutshell. Everyone realized very early on that a large number of cryptocurrency projects, their coins were, if you want to use this term, were centralized. We found out that even in 2017, 2018, 2019, there were like, 25 wallets who held nearly 40-something% of all the Bitcoin. But they were like, no, that's not centralization because it's rich people holding it. And it's like, okay. So the news was, I can say was now, that Ripple, the company, the coin was created by the guy who created Stellar Lumens. He allegedly got annoyed with the people from Ripple because he wanted to do something else. He lied and decided to leave, and then made Stellar Lumens, being like, oh, okay, we'll do the exact same thing as you, but we'll do it better. But no one's using Stellar Lumens. And then people found out how many coins had been created by this guy and had been gifted to the company. Like, it was actually, he said he gifted it to them. Sure, why not? Gifted it to them. And then we found out that they controlled, I think, 60 billion tokens or something like that out of the 100 billion that were created. But tons of XRPs being burned all the time. Every transaction burns more coins. And also, they've been selling off XRP. Like, a lot of times, remember when we saw the news over the last 2 years and people tried to make it like a negative thing, like, oh gosh, XRP's not doing well because Ripple's selling XRP. No, you're idiots. That's the point of the coin. They're supposed to be selling it off to banks and institutions who want to use it. You complain that people aren't using XRP, but then you complain when people are buying up XRP because you're like, oh, Ripple had to sell some. That's the point of it. That's why they also made the escrow, because the whole. Anyway, so the point is, yeah, they officially sold off and burned enough coins, and now they hold less than all the supply. In a Q3 report published on the 27th of October, Ripple once again refuted that criticism, while also pointing out that its XRP holdings continue to decline, falling below 50 billion tokens, or 50% of the total supply. It says critics have pointed to the company's XRP ownership as an indicator that the XRP ledger is controlled by Ripple. That is not true. Oh, that was also, I hate stupid people so much. That was also really big news a couple of years ago. The rumor was that if you controlled more than 50% of the tokens, you controlled the voting rights and everything else for the actual blockchain itself. Do you see what I deal with all the time? Like, constantly. It's just always a thing. I see coins that are scams and I tell people that they're scams and nobody believes me. I tell people, hey, that looks like something's not right. I'm pretty sure the coin doesn't do that. No one pays attention and people start buying into the news from other people. Isn't it weird that all the people who told you not to buy XRP have gotten rich? Anyway, anyway. So the point is, yeah, congratulations to them. I'm not like the largest Ripple / XRP supporter like I was years ago when I told everybody that it was going to 1 cent and then it went to $3.60, and high freaking five in the air to everyone who listened to me and I hope you made millions of dollars. I sincerely do hope so. But now the news was years ago that no banks would be working with Ripple. And look at that. They've partnered with banks around the world. They're working with the largest banks in the UAE. No company would be using it. Look at that. You got companies using XRP, sending money around the world all the time. Ripple holds more than 50% of the XRP supply. Look at that. Now it's less than 50% as well. So I'm not sure what other. Oh, also people keep saying it's centralized. You guys need to get a life. Please go somewhere. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. I'm reeling it in. Don't worry. Why? You've spent years of your life trying to get people to believe a lie that no one even listened to. It's the weirdest thing in the entire world. You could have said, imagine all the times you spent spreading negativity in your life if you had gone outside and helped people. If you had held the door open for someone. If you gave to charity. If you went to a soup kitchen to help people who are less fortunate. Anyway, Ripple Labs now holds less than 50% of all XRP. That number will continue to dwindle and more coins will be burned. And people will in 10 years go, oh my gosh, remember when that was news when Bitcoin maximalists were trying so desperately to stop XRP from rising? We were very close. I remember those days. We were very close to XRP becoming the #1 coin. But if you scream loud enough on Twitter and get people to be afraid, people begin to sell. That's the XRP news. Let's move on. Did you see that? What was that? There was like one big head transaction. It absorbed the other ones. That was kind of gross. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever the heck you might be. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, subscribing, supporting, sub and porting. Good job. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.